to the last game you told them because you're lying.
You always tell the truth. I always tell a lie. You have to ask the right question against us.
Well, the truth is they're brawling it out this time, so this is the correct game. As they go into the Miami Dome once again, Rygunduz saying, I told you I knew the matchup.
40% of people are smart.
Yep. My 40%. Those are my followers. 40% of people and 20-second stock there for Rygunduz.
Yo, but Elsom coming in, trying to get some damage built up. Has to figure out the reads on Rygunduz. Clearly was not watching the last matchup to see the dodge habits of Rygunduz.
Gets the recovery there, but I think he might have gotten it back because of how close he was to the wall. Ground pound. Charges it all the way to the bottom, saying he's feeling helicopterish today because he goes all the way down and then back up.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of dodge there. Elsom not able to hit the down air, though. Goes for it again. It's interesting he's going for these outside down airs instead of trying to bounce it off the wall. That's what a lot of the orb players that I run into do, but he does find the N-Sig to finish off the
that's what
stock.
a lot of the orb players I run into do. The Fate N-Sig just coming out right there. Gonna close off the stock, but not before taking a lot of damage.
Ooh, goes for the down air. Rygunduz is high. Again, back on that spear, that comfort weapon, but he throws it away.
At this point, he's probably just looking to KO this stock here, probably why he's switching back to that easier sword. But we have seen him get KOs on both weapons, so Elsom has him off stage, though, and it is very dangerous in this position. The recovery is going to get caught out, and just the dodge makes it back.
Had just enough movement. That's that high movement speed coming out from Hattori. You get more horizontally in the ground pound again from Rygunduz.
Yeah, I got kind of worried there as he opted for the downlight there instead of the side air or recovery, but he does make up for it with a weapon throw ground pound. Elsom disarmed here, but he's going to pick up an orb pretty fast. So not too much strife there. Gets the down air.
Ooh,
and Rygunduz with some beautiful unarmed gameplay there, midair.
Going for those gravity cancels. Elsom struggling to finish the stock. Goes for another gravity cancel, but Rygunduz is just beating out the spot dodges from Elsom and getting more damage.
Gets as much damage in that situation as possible. Very nice recovery coming back to the map. Elsom finally going to close off that stock, but once again, a lot of damage put onto him.
But again, it's the Scythe, the weapon with a lot of potential to steal stocks away. We've seen it so many times in competitive.
Rygunduz playing it safe for right now. Goes for the normal end light.
Still not finding any momentum here. Not getting those dodge reads.
Elsom just finding these 1-2 hits. It looks like Rygunduz isn't dodging, but it's still not big strings being put on them.
Ooh, swapping over to the orb for the KO potential. Doesn't hit the side air, though.
Rygunduz needs to be very careful here as one of these SIGs could close off the stock even with the semi-damage lead he has, because once you're in red for everybody. It doesn't really matter at this point, right? Recovery is finally going to close off Rygunduz, and that was an interesting game because Rygunduz consistently had the first stock taken off and built up a bunch of damage, but when it came down to it, Elsom was able to even it up almost every single time.
Yeah, and this was a huge start for Rygunduz. You're seeing the slow-mo of that initial KO, and look at the damage lead Rygunduz had, and Elsom was able to bring that one back. I think if Elsom can avoid that kind of big burst from Rygunduz, there's potential for this one to go the distance. Good damage split. We saw 213 on the sword, 233 on the spear.
Well, we're also sticking to the same map here.
Yep. Going into it, Elsom versus Rygunduz. Elsom starting off, gets that nice weapon initial spawn.
Elsom with the quick 2-piece there, gets another nair. And Rygunduz opting to fight him unarmed. Gets the recovery into the neutral air, picks up the spear right after. Ooh. And an N-Sig finally connects after the 2-piece from the spear.
He was just hoping for that. Eventually, the N-Sig was going to hit, and he hits another one. Uh-oh, that was
a beautiful interaction there. That downlight recovery, canceling the downlight off the platform, getting the recovery extra high up, and taking the stock from Elsom semi-early once again. And we're seeing another lead very big for Rygunduz.
Yo, and a lot of it coming out from those N-Sigs. He's getting the reads.
This is a spear player's fantasy. When you're getting reads and pickups like this, you're just in bliss.
Oh my gosh, and Elsom having a nightmare right now. Can't even get the N-Sig.
Going to close it off again off the platform, so you're extra high up. Rygunduz playing with his food here.
This is a huge lead for Rygunduz.
Elsom opting for the active input in air, but doesn't find the downlight after that. Down air is going to send Rygunduz fairly low, but he has everything he needs to make it back up.
Yeah. Plays around it smartly, gets back up. Elsom finally finished the stock with the unarmed recovery, but this is going to take a lot.
Some opting to play the Scythe here because that is going to be that big burst weapon where you could luckily find a game or something to even it back up. But Rygunduz is clapping back almost immediately with another spear pickup.
Got
Down
the dare.
there.
It's crazy because Rygunduz does a lot of these gravity cancels, and generally that's a really risky move, but it's working out. Rygunduz isn't getting punished for it, and he's actually generally hitting with it.
Yeah, just like that's GC sidestick into the ground pound. Wow, that was unexpected. And you bring up the GC thing is interesting because in the previous set against the Fate, we saw him go for these same GCs, and they were getting heavily punished every time. Every time he went for a GC, it felt like that was the most of the time. That was usually when he was taking the brunt of the damage, but this game, it's finding him a lot of hits in a lot of different places, whether it's the off the reads with the spear GCs or just a GC sidestick like that to step for the ground pound. So he's doing it very different this game, and it's working different.
Yeah, it's definitely working very well for Rygunduz as he's currently up 2-0 in the elimination bracket. And again, he's in that hot seat. He's already won one best of 5. He's on his second one. And if he wins this, he goes immediately into another best of 5.
Yep, and Elsom on their tournament stock here, so they have to be very careful with what they want to do here. A GC goes very punished, and that is what we're talking about. You cannot GC for free.
Yeah, Elsom getting so much capitalization off of that gravity cancel punish, getting nairs and sayers, but still damage not completely.
Nice dodge read. Sets up for the edge guard here. Is Elsom going to find anything more than that? No. Rygunduz is hitting these straight stairs very well. Sidelight side air is going to be the punish from Elsom. Side six back to stage. Says, I don't need no jumps.
Elsom not doing too much to punish it, but does find that side air.
Elsom going to have the choice of weapons here. Sticks to the scythe. Rygunduz fighting unarmed.
Doesn't get the nair that time. Dashes through, or chase dodges through that.
And Rygunduz is going to have a hard time KOing here with the sword on this map. Goes for downlight dare. Doesn't find the recovery just yet. Maybe the next one will be the one. Downlight recovery is going to clear it up. Rygunduz has now the choice of weapons himself. Picks up the spear.
Okay, goes in, gets the recovery. There's the weapon spawn. It's going to be the orb. Haven't seen too much of the orb from Elsom. He's gotten like sidelight stairs for the most part.
Yep, Elsom only going for those sidelight stairs. He goes for the downlight that time, but can't find much more of that. Ends up losing a bit of damage. But does find a stair after, so maybe made up, maybe didn't. Sidelight sider is going to go through this time. Goes for the edge guard. Rygunduz fights his way back on stage.
Ooh, doesn't get the punish on the whiffed N-Sig though.
And we've seen some excellent edge guards from Rygunduz this entire set, really, both sets. If he can get you off stage, he can really look for that ground pound and kind of spike you down.
Yeah, his sword in particular has been really, really good in the offstage against Elsom.
Elsom does end up finding that down sig just a second ago and getting the second stock off of Rygunduz. Rygunduz back on the map though, with this spear in hand. He needs to find this KO before he takes too much more damage. As you can see, he's already into the orange with that 3-piece. Side air coming through.
Go with the pogo. The weapon
for the ground pump, but the weapon throw is going to interrupt him. His own weapon throw is kind of jinxing him there.
Goes for the gravity cancel. N-Sig. Elsom getting more damage. Goes for a ground pound of his own. Not able to hit the dare though.
You're seeing Rygunduz get kind of frantic here, which we haven't really been seeing from a lot of options for Stair. The GC side sig is going to seal his fate as Fate goes for the N-Sig. Yeah,
that was definitely the most panic mode Rygunduz has been in so far because the momentum has definitely shifted in favor of Elsom.
Not the end of the world, though, as he is 2 games up. So that's going to put it at 1-2. Elsom trying to fight it back, be the hero of this story, get the reverse 3-0 on the set count. Rygunduz, he just needs one more.
He's just got to get 3 stocks from Elsom, and Rygunduz can continue on in the bracket. But a good adjustment from Elsom, because this was looking like the Rygunduz set, for sure.
Yeah, Rygunduz came in swinging. Elsom bringing it back that game. But Rygunduz now, with the choice of maps, takes us to the Spirit Temple. A map probably favoring him, as these low ceilings are good for the Sword and Spear.
Ooh, the charge up from Elsom. Maybe charged a little too long, because Rygunduz was spot dodged, but able to get away from that.
Nice recovery. Goes for the N-Sig after and gets pogoed back down. Doesn't find a punish of that GC, though. So Elsom is going to walk away freely from that one. Sidelight Sair as he approaches back to the map. Another sidelight Sair. GC is going to catch out the recovery and put Rygunduz in the dirt very early on that stock.
It's looking like download complete. Elsom is playing so well around Rygunduz, catching all of the wake-up options from Rygunduz.
Even the approaches are being stuffed out as he can't even get back to the center to find a weapon. The sword is going to be picked up, but at what cost? A sidelight to the face.
Gets a two-piece, looking for more. Still finding hits onto Rygunduz. The ground pound not going to connect, but Rygunduz backs away this time.
Let me tell you, my 40% is not happy right now. They're regretting their beliefs as Rygunduz kind of taking a huge fall to Elsom here. Almost a 2-stock lead. Another sidelight there at the edge of the map. Weapon throw is going to confirm it, and the Dinosaurs is going to eat him up.
40% of chat is mauling right now. They're like, why did we trust Remy?
Remy, how could you do this to us?
Who's the true truther?
Sometimes we could both lie. We can both not tell the truth.
Tell a couple lies here and there. Sidelight goes for the recovery. Still getting more. Rygunduz is sweat beating.
On Rygunduz is getting completely destroyed by Elsom here. Not like we saw in the first 2 games at all.
Yo, again, the sweat beats. Rygunduz is just burning so many options, trying to get away from Elsom. Elsom fights his way back, gets the dare, gets the weapon toss. The 3-stock.
3-stock. Unofficial.
Okay, well.
It's because he knew you had to lie again.
He was like, okay, he said it. Baited. Let me fast fall off the screen.
Yeah, but that game looked really good from Elsom there. Those edge guards and the GCs off map were impressive.
Real? 384 damage on the orb, 0 on the side.
I mean, that's my average game on face. He's just like me.
I think that's what happened. Is Elsom was like, yo, maybe I should play this orb thing a little more.
Yeah, I've been trying to play Scythe, but he's not getting hit by these dodge beats. Maybe the orb is the way to go. Just completely destroy him in the neutral game.
And it's working as Elsom destroyed in game number 4. Now we're going into game 5. Tournament point for both of them.
Yep, big game 5 here. Both have to play at their best, and we see Rygunduz opening it up with them unarmed into the spear gameplay. Swaps it out for the sword just to get the weapon starve. And Elsom is going to pick up that orb we saw him do so much work with, and he's getting right back into it with a double-sider.
You see Rygunduz giving a lot more breathing room to Elsom's approaches. He is dashing away, trying not to get caught up by Elsom again.
Rygunduz with the reads this time on the sword. Nice side air is going to send him off stage, but Elsom fights his way back on with the recovery and then hits the quick little 2-piece off the sidelight.
Yeah, didn't go for
nice
the Sayer that time for stage control, but the N-Sig will connect.
Rygunduz needs to play this spacing game. If you have the spear into the orb, the best thing you can do is keep that distance, because if you get too close, the orb's priority is going to put you out here. And Elsom, he knows that too. You can see him fighting to get in close, hugging onto Rygunduz here. Both players playing for this first stock here, because this first stock is going to be so important and detrimental to who gets this lead. Downlight recovery for the second time is going to send Elsom off the top. And now Rygunduz, he needs to work on this stock. He needs to get what he can before he's shut down.
Well, he's already getting some extra credit. Goes for the double this time. Wants as much damage, like you said, as he can possibly get. Elsom just needs to find the sidelight for the Sayer potential KO. Goes for the N-Sig raw and doesn't hit it.
Elsom, another interaction with that N-Light there, not connecting. Rygunduz has gotten some extra credit for himself, and he's still going for it. He picks up the spear. Elsom goes for another raw N-Sig, and these have been very detrimental to his success here, as he's getting punished for every single one the same.
Yeah, 40% of people starting to feel real good right now, as Rygunduz has gotten a lot of extra credit, avoids the weapon toss as well. The down sig from the sword not going to hit.
We're going to have options here. Elsom does make it back to stage, but at what cost? Still nothing. Charge down opportunity. 40% of my fans didn't expect that to come fast.
All right, Elsom, back to the orb. The orb worked so well in game number 4, but game 5 not working as well. Rygunduz definitely making some solid adjustments.
Rygunduz on a big lead here, but we did see Elsom come back from stock leads like this, even very high damage. So it's not out of the question if Elsom can get back on map here. Maybe they can find something to bring this game back.
Ooh, but the recovery.
Yep, the recovery closes it out.
A full stock advantage to Rygunduz. Choice of weapon, it's going to be the spear. Elsom needs to basically 2-stock Rygunduz here.
The sidelight N-Light's not going to make it easy for him, as that true combo adds on a bit extra damage. N-Light to catch the spot dodge in. That means he's going to get a little extra hits for the scythe. Side air.
Good spot dodge.
So far, Elsom is trading pretty good. He's getting extra hits for the one, but Rygunduz has a full stock lead, so him getting any hits at all is just okay for him. You know, he's not going to be too upset that Rygunduz is, that Elsom is hitting him back here, but he doesn't want to get too ahead of himself here, as Elsom is still doing a pretty good job of bringing this back.
Yeah, this is far from over, but still, like you said, the damage is helping Rygunduz out as he's just going for sidelights. He gets the side sig.
Not going to close off just yet, but Rygunduz feels happy about that as the side air from the edge guard is going to finally seal the deal. And 40% of you are welcome for that, for that little guesstimate I gave you. 636 damage dealt, and that is just what happens when you pick Hattori on Apocalypse.
The spear really coming out for Rygunduz. 394 damage put out, was catching Elsom, that extended range like you talked about. And again, Rygunduz sitting in that hot seat, won one best of 5, just won another best of 5 after going to game 5, and now he has to wait for his next opponent for his next best of 5.
It's definitely a scary spot to be in when you're coming off from a loser's run like this. They're giving you back-to-back-to-back games here. And he is out of the lobby, though, so maybe he does get a breather.
Maybe he does. Maybe he gets a little breather as we go to the other side of the